but still I would put aside 1,000 bob or 1,500 each month. I'll just put it there because I want nice things and I want not to be envious of you, because envy is there. It is there. I will see Alice driving a car. How come is she driving a car?
But driving?
Yeah, but the things you used to tell me then that I never may want this. I remember your color theme was black, red, if I'm not mistaken. So you're like, I want a black couch, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And I thank God those things have come to pass. Just like me, I'm like, I want a 43-inch TV. That was my target then. I want this nice carpet, I want this couch, I want this, I want this. Yes, some came to pass. But some, because they were more long term and maybe along the way they were halted, it didn't stop me. And that's now why we are staying as it today. How much money are we looking at? How should I be disciplined? We don't have that, but we have enough. May believe I have enough.
Okay.
That's one thing I thank God. I have enough. By enough, it means by the time I'm being paid, there's something little I'm saving. So right now, my targets have changed. My goals have changed. I'm not saving like before. Like before, maybe I was putting just in an account and I could access one day. I'm like, Minnesota. But right now, my savings characters have changed. I'm saving this money in a different format. I've looked for circles. I've seen the advantages. This is what I can get. I've looked for chamas. I've looked for all that. So even if I'm in a chama with a specific target. I'm in a chama right now for utensils, for buying, furnishing the house. It's for this. So when I get that money, I furnish. I don't even take that money anywhere else. That money goes to furnishing the house.
Okay, but, so you've given us the first point. Give us another point at which you think would be, I can say, if someone is doing that, they are really at a higher point of maintaining a good financial status. What else?
A point I'd like to share with is ways to cut expenses.
Oh, what wa KC? You say nyama, unataka nyama leo, unataka nyama kesho, unataka nyama kuku leo, kuku kesho, kuku the other day, and yet at the same time you want to save.
So,
but you're not earning much. Remember, today actually I'm focusing on low income earners.
Thank you.
Low income earners.
Thank you.
By the way, let me tell you, I think what you mentioned earlier on, I think saving, you talked about discipline. Discipline, something about that. Do you know that people who are earning even 100K and they don't know how to use it?
It's just,
and yet for you would feel, if I was earning 100K, oh my God,
I know,
I would be saving almost 70%.
You won't,
depending on
what I'm doing,
what you're doing at that time.
Okay, so when it comes to how to cut on your expenses, I'll say, Alice, I've learned the hard way when it comes to that. Nobody took me to that school, but I found myself in that school.
Okay.
So number one, I'm not against supermarkets. I'm not against. I'm not so against them. But I came to realize the difference of 10 shillings, 5 shillings. When I spend it somewhere else, I'm buying something else. So number one, I did a research on cereal shops within the locality. So I would check, Kamande here is going for 230. And here it's going for 235. Here it's going for this. So I'd come back and check, why is she selling at this and this? I also check on the quality. So people have different suppliers, obviously. And then I got stuck to one cereal shop whereby I know the quality is good and the prices are affordable. So I go there, I find when I'm buying things in bulk, like rice, beans, what, I'm getting a good deal by the end of the day. Okay. So when it comes to other products like dairy products, those ones that go to wholesale. So I know if I'm getting 1 box of milk or 2 boxes of milk, I'm saving like maybe 100 shillings. Out of where I would have spent like whatever it is. I'm not against supermarket, guys. Don't get me mistaken. So there are also other products whereby I could go to the I go to the farm, like what you'll say the up markets, like the abattoirs. the Kichinchi of the Bama market. So in the Bama market, you'll find when I'm buying a kilo of meat, it's not the same as the one I'll buy in the estate or in the locality.
Yeah.
This one even comes more fresher. So there you can go and tell this guy, I need like 3 kilos, but chop for me in quarters. He'll do the quarters. I'll come back home, seal it very well and put in my freezer. So I will not go on. So I'll find my fridge is well stocked on a minimum budget.
Yeah.
And the foods I'm having inside there. So once I buy my cereals, let's say I'm buying 3 kilos, I'll boil like 1 kilo of kamande. I'll boil 1 kilo of beans. That is on my free day. I'll boil this. Something that I can boil when I'm coming from job, I can still do it. So another thing I also invested in is buying charcoal. Because you can't boil these things using gas. So you get a nice dealer of charcoal. You buy your charcoal maybe for 200 shillings. You find it will boil all this stuff. And you'll not be having these moments of going to Mama Nani. Nipimie maragwe ya 100, nipimie githeri ya 20.
By the way, that thing looks to be time saving, but it's costly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like buying, I normally buy, I'm one of them, or not. I normally go to Mama Mboga and buy beans. A cup is 40 bob.
Wow.
And I buy 2 cups. But think about a kilo of beans. How much is it?
This is almost 1 something.
1 something. That 1 kg if
boiled very well.
Boiled very well. I think you can get more than 2 cups that I buy.
Yeah, very. So that is it. So basically, I learned that. And now that there is a lot of maize, I've been buying maize. I just remove it, wash it very well, boil it, and then you refrigerate it. So I don't find myself buying dairy. I don't find myself buying other things. But I find myself thinking like, what am I eating today? I just remove it and I boil and I go. So I find the way I would have spent 10 shillings, I'm done. Then also with, it's not because I love cooking, guys. So let's not mix this now. The aspect of pre-boiling and putting it is to save this energy. I'm from office. There's traffic jam. I'm tired. I just want to get out of that matatu and walk to my apartment.
And you don't even know you're going to cook.
Thank you.
Because the moment you have that food stocked in your fridge, by the time you're coming from office to home, at least you have a clue of what is in your mind.
And right now we were talking about tomatoes. Tomatoes too is going for 25 shillings. One onion is going for 15 shillings. But if you have your supplier, like I have one, so when you go, you pick this one of 10, she can tell you, okay, pick rokota nipimie kilo yako. You go, you get. So you see, when you buy in bulk, you're not chamaring or getting corners. Your target is to reach open that gate, open your door, and you're inside the house to relax.
Well, so I hope someone is learning what we're discussing about. So what more do you think would be someone needs to do for them to be at for them to be able to have you all maintain the good financial status?
Number one, just have the said when you cut your expenses. And then another deal I learned when you're cutting also on your expenses would be, for those who love drinking, go to wholesales. We have those wines and spirits that are wholesalers. Buy your pombe there. If you know this mzinga can take me the whole month to buy a liter, you put it. I'm not against people going out. I love going out. But with time, I've come to restrict myself because of the targets of things I want to do. And I realize these were not going right. I go out once in a while, but it doesn't stop me from shopping and spending my money. But because I'm trying to look at how things are going with this uchumi of ours, I've been cutting a lot of things and I've seen it's helping me out.
Okay, so personally, okay, you've talked about plan yourself.
Plan yourself.
You've talked about cutting your budget.
Yes.
And I think those are some of the things that are very, very crucial when you're really looking at maintaining a very good financial status. What else do you think someone has to do to maintain a very good?
Create a financial plan. No matter how. I've seen people who earn daily and they save better than us who are salary. Someone who is earning 1,000 daily saves much better than you who is waiting for end month.
Are you for real?
The most stories I've seen.
I feel like someone who earns daily, to some point they're extravagant. Some point, I feel by the end of that day, they don't know where that money has gone, and they're expecting tomorrow to get more money.
At least I think right now with my interaction of friends, I think things have changed a lot. The people I'm now associating with, I have 2-3 friends who earn daily, like about 15 to 1,000, depending on how the day was.
Yeah.
But let me go with the one whom I know is earning 15 net daily. She told me, it's a he told me, what I do, I put my 500 aside, no matter what, whether it was raining, it was snowing. That 500, I have to go and lock it somewhere. And it's daily. So when I remain with my 1,000, okay, for him, I also know he has like a mini fridge. So there's a way he has set up his things. So he comes, yes, what do I need there in the house? Nothing. You'll find he'll he'll save 700 and remain with 300 at hand. So 700 plus 500, that is 1,200 saved. Now he remains with this. He tells me, like I can go beat someone up. But you see, it's also from him I learned that thing. And then he's saying the same thing. People who want daily don't save. You're very correct. Some don't, some do. But I can tell you, those who save, Alice, those days have a discipline that I can't even match. So you have to plan. If there's no need for this money to go out, don't spend it.
Okay, let me tell you guys. Okay, let me add on that. Okay, and the other thing I can say is that I've talked about you having the annual budget. You break it to the monthly budget. Now you'll still have to break it to a weekly budget.
Yes.
And then break it to a daily budget. Meaning, if you're earning 20,000 a month, you have rent, you have transport, you have food. Let me assume that you've been able to put all that to how it is. Rent is standard. You can't do anyhow otherwise. Transport may also be standard because you've already done your calculations, how you travel out every day and come back. But let me talk about this other money. Food, you talk about this saving. You also have to ensure that if your daily expense is 200, for you to reach the target that you have, the weekly target and the monthly target, always ensure that you don't go beyond that 200. Meaning, if you come to office, they give you breakfast, they give you tea, they give you bread, and then you've seen Mama Samosa, and you know that for sure it's not being mean to yourself. You know for sure if you eat this samosa or if you do this, you're going to go slightly out of your budget. Please, you don't have to do it, because the more that small extra expense you put in will affect your weekly target, and will affect your monthly target, and at a high possible way, or let me say, it will still affect your annual budget. Am I lying?
You are very right. You're very right. And one thing I've seen some things happening with us is we like copy-pasting people's lifestyle. Alice, if every day you are eating smocha, and me, I used to take the bread and tea provided, and I stopped taking bread, I started eating smocha because I saw you eating. Doom for me. I'll start going to these mobile lending apps. I'll start asking people for loans. I'll start asking for advance. And remember, it's these small things that we bring in that affect the discipline. So if I'm able to discipline myself and say, no, Alice is for smocha, me, I'm for bread. No worries. I'll leave it to myself, and I know what I'm doing. Like those days, eat rice kamande, but you're saving your 10,000 somewhere. I remember when you're saying, I can't buy a fridge without a microwave. And I'm happy you achieved it. You get? So those small targets that we have must be achieved.
And also,
I normally say financial discipline is like pregnancy. If you don't go for vitamins, you don't go for the tetanus injection, if you don't go to be checked on your weight, if the baby is sleeping well, if the baby is dancing well in the tummy, me, that's how I see as a financial discipline. You go back, track. Last month I was told I didn't eat well. That's why I'm like this. I think I need to remain on this diet so that I can give back to a healthy baby.
Oh, wow. I think this is a very long topic, and I know if we are to have it, it will not end. Let me still talk about that. Stefan, Personally, I don't know. We have phones, they have notebooks.
Yeah.
But my head is stuck with a pen and a paper. I'm really sorry to say this, guys.
Yeah, most
So
one of them.
what you have to do is, I'm going to give you one tip. If you have things that you really need to do, write them down. Write them down and give an estimation of how much you need for everything that you want. If it's a saving, write it down. If it's a fridge, if it's a TV, write it down. Yeah. So now the next thing we're going to do is to know, you have a list of 10 items.
Yeah.
A fridge is maybe 30,000, but
depending.
You're not even earning 30,000.
Yeah, sure.
How are you going to reach? How are you going to be able to buy that fridge? You need to know how much you're going to save for that thing every month for you to achieve it. So it's all about being disciplined, like she said. Like, try to ensure that if you have said, or if you have promised yourself to save 5,000 a month, let it be 5,000, or let it be 1,000, and let it not be 200. Anyway, give us one more thing as we close the topic, because this is a very long topic, and I'm pretty sure there are so many reasons, very many. Maybe we can have an episode 2 about this. So you will have to tell us if you really need this.
Okay, thank you. So what I can wind up with right now is always look out for financial news. This will help you know that eggs is no longer at 500, it's at 450. So where do I get these quality eggs? So I save my 50 shillings. Another thing, even the rate of the dollar matters on your savings and your lifestyle. So if the dollar goes up,
do you know people don't? Okay, there are people who don't even focus on the dollar part of it, yet it's very important, and I'm one of them, by the way. Like, if you ask me right now, how much is the dollar? I don't know, my God, I don't know.
And another thing, always learn to go for what you can afford.
Exactly. I was almost mentioning that, but it went off my mind.
So by that, it means I will not board a car that is taking me to town at 40 shillings and there's one for 20.
Exactly.
So that 20, I can go, and even this small loose change, let me tell you something I've learned this year. This small loose 10, 5 shillings, I got a bank
for it.
So I throw them there. You know, it's not that I don't need them. I need them, but I normally leave them lying for 2-3 days. Maybe if I don't have a matchbox, or I need this or something, or maybe to send a kid, then I'm like, those ones. So if it goes 24 hours and I haven't used it, then it means it's not for use. I pour it there, you know. So by doing that, it will help you to know that by the end of the year, if I wanted to buy a car, if I wanted to buy a house, if I wanted to buy my kid a bicycle, if I wanted to award myself a nice phone, this is where I come from.
Anyway, as we are summarizing up, let me do a disclaimer, guys. If you are a low income earner, we are not saying that you become selfish yourself.
No.
Such that you don't even have shoes to put on, and you're like,
they say that I have to save. No.
This brain. This brain.
Yes.
So tell us, in this episode, what have you been able to point out? What have you been able to learn from this episode? And do you still need us to talk more about this on episode 2? That will depend on how you're going to be able to share this video. Guys, don't be selfish. Please share this video with someone.
And as we wind up, remember, if you had put 500 from January to December, that's how much money? 6,000.
6,000.
That's a start.
That's a start.
Even if you decided to save 1,000 from January to December, that is 12,000. So it means in January of the new year, you have something to start up with. People will be wondering why your January is not hitting you hard, because you had something as a backup. Normally we spend and then we forget there is another month coming. So the little you can do for yourself, even in this month of May, just put 500 somewhere.
Yeah, so
bye,
that
guys,
was
I love you.
That was me, Alice Amy, your host, and
my name is Stephanie.
And see you guys in another episode.
Subscribe, hit, comment. We are waiting for the views.